Welcome to the podcast, folks. Today we're diving into Coinbase's darkly satirical take on the UK's financial system. You know, that video titled Everything is Fine, which uses a cheeky musical tone to bluntly contrast Britain's official financial cheer with some pretty grim realities, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're saying, everything's peachy, as the screen fills up with images of poverty and rising debt.
Absolutely. The video kicks off with lyrics like, "We ain't got no troubles." No reason to complain, yet it clearly shows damaged homes and cash-strapped individuals. It's like, a visual punch to the gut. It's a biting commentary on how the truth often gets lost behind official narratives.
Right. And what really grabs me is the fact that this isn't just playful satire. It's backed by some pretty stark numbers. 44% of UK adults are, according to recent data, financially vulnerable. That's a huge chunk of the population, isn't it?
Exactly, it is. We're talking about 20.3 million people in the UK facing financial hardship, up by 16% compared to last year. And the report also points out that high debt loads have spiked by 59% among people with average incomes. That kind of growth really underscores the disconnect between the claims of prosperity and, well, the mess on the ground.
Yep. And it's not just about debt. The video also throws in these absurd lines about soaring prices, like when it jokes about fish fingers costing just £100 a meal. I mean, that's hyperbolic in the most striking way possible, don't you think?
For sure, it's meant to be over the top, to make you stop and think, is this really how things are? It mirrors the real-life struggles where many people are forced to rely on payday loans or zero-hour contracts just to cover basic needs. It's a wry nod at how economic rhetoric can be so disconnected from reality.
Yeah, but, while this satirical approach is clever, isn't there a risk that it might oversimplify a complex economic issue? I mean, is it fair to reduce it all to catchy lines and grim imagery?
That's a solid point. I mean, it's definitely a double-edged sword. On one hand, the humor and music make it super shareable and engaging. On the other hand, it might gloss over the multi-layered factors, like unstable incomes, ill health, and job loss, that are really driving this financial vulnerability. It's a stark, almost caricature of the hard truths many face daily.
Exactly. And speaking of hard truths, the video also takes a jab at the UK's crypto policy. It reminds me of how, historically, regulation in emerging financial sectors often lags behind technological advances.
Totally. The piece mentions that the UK, once set to be a leader post-Brexit in crypto regulation, has instead been mired in policy procrastination. It's a bold criticism, suggesting that the UK's early mover advantage in distributed ledger technology was, well, pretty much wasted.
Right. It's almost like the video is saying, oh sure, everything's fine, but look at this gap between what's promised and what's real. The tone is so ironic. It's both funny and unsettling.
Yeah, it really taps into that irony. The cheerful tune undercuts images of poverty and mess, which forces you to question not just the financial policies, but also the overall narrative fed to us by those in power. It's like a musical wake-up call in the middle of a party.
I get that, but I do wonder if, by just highlighting the issues without suggesting any real solutions, the video might leave people feeling a bit numb or resigned to the state of affairs, rather than inspired to change things.
That's a fair critique. The video is, by design, more of a mirror than a roadmap. It's saying, hey, take a look at this absurdity without doling out policy prescriptions. It's meant to spark conversation, not necessarily to provide fixes.
True. And in that sense, it's quite effective. It forces us to confront the reality of 1.9 million younger adults struggling with credit, or low-income families with no savings, numbers that are as cold as they are alarming.
Exactly. And even the commentary on food insecurity, this rise from 11% to 15% in food bank usage, is a sobering reminder that behind every satirical line, there's a very real human impact. It's like peeling back the layers of a well-staged performance to find the bitter truth underneath.
So, while the video harnesses humor to make its point, it also serves as a critique not only of the UK's financial struggles, but also of the incongruity between policy rhetoric and day-to-day realities.
Yeah, that's the real punch here. It's a critique aimed at both, like the outdated crypto policy and the broader issues of inequality and economic vulnerability in the UK. It juxtaposes a cheerful facade with the harshness of real-life data and imagery, a rather stark contrast.
And it's interesting how Coinbase, a major player in the crypto world, chooses this route. It's not often you see such a direct, almost playful contact with political and social issues coming from a crypto exchange.
Absolutely. It's a bold move, using satire to underline the failure of existing systems to protect those in need. While some might argue it trivializes the issues, it undeniably stirs up debate and puts a spotlight on areas in desperate need of reform.
Right, yeah. And honestly, sometimes that's exactly what's needed. A provocative nudge to encourage deeper reflection and critique of our societal structures.
Precisely. It's like tossing a pebble into a still pond. The ripples force you to see the broader picture. Whether people find it refreshing or too cynical, it certainly gets the conversation started about the state of our financial policies and economic realities.
For sure, it's a conversation starter that makes you ask, are we all really fine? Or is this just a well-produced, ironic satire?
Exactly. And even if one might respectfully challenge the approach, saying it oversimplifies complex issues, it still undeniably highlights the urgent need for a more honest dialogue about financial security in the UK.
Right on. It forces us to confront that while catchy slogans might make for good commercials, they can also mask or even perpetuate significant societal problems.
Indeed, it's a wake-up call wrapped in musical irony. And that, in itself, is a powerful tool in our modern media landscape. It's all about stirring the pot so that real change might eventually follow.
Yeah, well said. It's a fascinating blend of art, politics, and economics all rolled into one. It definitely leaves us with plenty to ponder about policy, responsibility, and the narratives we choose to believe.
Absolutely. That's our deep dive for today, showing how satire can be a lens to view, question, and ultimately strive to improve societal systems. Thanks for riding through these insights today.
Right. And thanks for the rich discussion. Till next time, keep questioning the narrative and stay tuned for more insightful takes.